Hello, Ali, Edna and Margaret. I hope I've said that right. I'm Adele and I'm delighted you've come over to the Beach Gallery to do a workshop with Carolyn about my egret drawing. Caroline's done a very detailed analysis of the drawing that's going to help you a lot, so I thought I would just do two quick ways of thinking about approaching a subject like this. So here's a copy of my drawing, and I've traced it out onto two different pieces of paper, a dark ground and a light ground, and I'm going to just do a quick way of tackling it on both those surfaces. One of the challenges about this is a little egret, by the way. They've become quite common where I live. I don't know if they've progressed as far north as Orkney yet, but one of the challenges of drawing them is that they're all white. There's no plumage colour to help you describe the forms. All you've got is really the legs and the beak, which are dark. If you fancy putting the feet in, by the way, they have yellow feet. They look like they're wearing yellow ankle socks. So to make a start I'm going to start with the dark ground, and it's always best to decide before you start where your light source is coming from. If you're working in the field, it's not such much of a problem. The light's coming from wherever it's coming from, so you don't have to worry about it. But in the studio, it's always a good idea to decide from the outset. So going by my drawing, the light's coming from slightly behind the bird, so I'm going to say it's coming something like this. So I'm just going to use a white chalk for speed. So what I'm going to do is use it to pick out where the highlights are on the bird. Nice plumes that they have. So, and there's not actually that much that's highlighted because I've got the light coming from behind the bird. So it's really just like that. As you see, this is quite a quick way of describing the form, and then I'll use a light blue to put in the shadowed areas. So it's light, but it's darker than the white, but it's still lighter than the ground behind it. So we're getting a good contrast. Some more plumes on the front of the bird. I'm just doing this very quickly, just to give you the idea of a way you could approach it. I'll just use a colour pencil just to put the legs in and the beak, just very quickly. So as you can see, that's quite a quick way of getting the basic form there. I'm using a coloured paper, but if you have white paper you could tint it with some paint, some watercolour, some pastel with some water, or just rub it in. So that's that one. When we come to the white, obviously we can't do that because the white's not going to show. So what I'm going to do on this one is to work around the outside of the bird to make the shape. This is known as using negative space, which is basically space all the way around the outside. There's nothing more confusing than that. This pastels are a wee bit crude to pick out the blooms. basic shape that you end up with hasn't changed, but just the way you're thinking about creating it has altered. Go for slightly darker brown this side, give me some contrast. That's my radiator ticking, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'll use this blue again. Well, I should have said again where we've got our light source. Yeah, so I'm going to put a shadow in it again. So as you can see, we've come to a similar result by two different methods. I hope that is of interest to you. The only other thing I was going to talk about was the way egrets and birds generally change shape depending on how they're standing, and it's mostly to do with the neck. The torso of a bird is quite rigid. It has a lot of the same bones as a mammal or a reptile, but a lot of them they're fused for strength, and this enables the bird or the bone structure to withstand the forces that are put upon it by the rigours of flight and the huge flight muscles that are on birds. But what it does mean is they can't twist and bend their spine in the way that a mammal or a reptile can. So, but they still need to reach all round to preen and to look after themselves. So they compensate by having a very flexible neck. So an egret can change shape quite drastically. I've sent Carolyn a few pages from my sketchbook or pictures of them that illustrates this. So an egret, so you've got the basic body, and it doesn't change so much, but it can go, depending on the neck can sit like this, or it can go out like this, as we are now drawing. So as you can see, that's very different. It's not very good of the beak, but you get a very different shape, and it's mainly the way the neck has orientated itself. So that's all I was going to do. I don't want to keep you back from your workshop. You are probably good to get on and draw egrets. I hope you have a great day drawing egrets, and enjoy yourselves.